So much. All right, and the folks hoping to go up head-to-head with the president, both Gingrich and Santorum, are hoping to win over social conservatives in the South this week, while Mitt Romney is still trying to make himself more relatable to Southern voters. So who has the edge with just 2 days to go? Joining us now to talk about it, Matt Schlapp, former George W. Bush political director, and David Mercer, former deputy national finance director for the DNC. Gentlemen, welcome to you both.
Great to be here.
All right, so two big contests. We have to mention Hawaii and some other territories have got some caucuses going on this week as well. But let's talk about Alabama and Mississippi. Matt, if Romney is to win one or both of those states, does he now silence his critics saying, hey, I've won in the South, I've won all over the country, I'm the guy?
Yeah, I think he's got to get a win in either Mississippi or Alabama to make that claim. If most of the polling shows it's about a third between Gingrich, Santorum, and Governor Romney, which really kind of makes the case for this. If there wasn't two conservatives against him or two alternatives against him, would he be able to be as successful? In other words, are people on the other side to Romney kind of splitting up that vote? So I think it's a critical day for him on Tuesday.
Well, and that makes the point, David, too, that there were a lot of calls this week for Gingrich to drop out. Just as in the past, there have been calls for Santorum to drop out. And there's a lot of talk about those two camps putting together, coalescing, and going against Romney with just one candidate leading the charge. If Newt Gingrich doesn't win Alabama or Mississippi, when he's been promising a Southern surge, do you think he will drop out? I mean, you know, his folks have said he's staying in until August, but what do you think his appetite will be for that?
I think it puts greater pressure on him, but at the same time, he has declared on another channel that he is staying all the way in this race until Tampa.
You watch other channels?
I do, just to get perspective.
Hypothetically,
some
okay.
reference points.
He actually talked to Newt, right?
Right. But I think, look, the big picture here is not just the horse race between these three candidates, but the bigger picture of what's happening with the votes overall. And I think if you look at the Rush Limbaugh situation and what's going on with this campaign, they're losing more voters than they are gaining voters going into the general election or preparing for that. They're losing Latino votes. They're losing women votes, as we saw with Rush Limbaugh and the lack of a resolute response from Mitt Romney to the comments Rush Limbaugh made. And so the more, in fact, speaking to Romney, that he is in this race, the less favorable ratings he has and the more unfavorable ratings he has. So that's what's a big picture here.
You're going to take some issue with some of those statements.
It's Sunday, so I'll say that's malarkey. If you look at the most recent Rasmussen numbers, both Rick Santorum and Mitt Romney would beat Obama if the election were today. There have been polls that have shown that Ron Paul recently would best Obama. Obama's numbers have been under 50 for almost the last year.
Not the case in the swing states, though. Ohio and Virginia, among others.
Well, you can try. You can try. You can try.
Hey, look, with Romney letting Ron Paul get 40% of the vote in Virginia with only he and Paul on the ballot, that's saying something. That's a little weakness there.
I don't think the Virginia result was a great result for Mitt Romney, but the point is this election is going to be about President Obama's weak economic successes,
which is
or lack
getting
thereof.
stronger.
Or lack thereof. We're all for America. We want people to go to work.
There we
go.
But
the fact is, if you look at the numbers, this Republican contest is resulting in poll after poll that continues to show Obama is weak and that both Rick Santorum and Mitt Romney can beat him.
All right,
and we want you to think that.
Well, and David, you mentioned Virginia. I mean,
yes.
that, you know, there were only two on the ballot there, but it was a 60-40 split with Mitt Romney and Ron Paul, a lot closer than some folks thought that it would be. And something that struck me in a lot of these Southern polls we've gotten out just in the last week is that there are so many undecided. One of the polls showed 20%, another one like 29.9% of people still undecided. So a week out, how come those Southern voters are not yet convinced about who they're going to cast their ballot to?
It's always looking to close the deal. We saw it in Ohio where it was neck and neck and voters still undecided. You're seeing that in Illinois. 46% of the vote in Illinois could change what we currently see in the polls right now among the three candidates. And so everybody's got to take not take one vote for granted or one day for granted in trying to get those committed votes.
All right, David and Matt, we thank you both and for being so civil on a Sunday as well. Now stop watching other channels. David, thank you very much. We appreciate it. All right, George.